Hello, I'm Mitch Powell, and today I bring you another video. Today we are kitbashing the Space Marines tacticool chapter, the Raptors. I'm doing this because I made a custom shotgun off camera because I realized Warhammer only really has the Godwin pattern, the astartes pattern, and that is it, and it's heavily underutilized. I think there's two in the older Deathwatch kit, the Deathwatch Veterans. One, I believe, if not two, in the Space Marine Scouts kill team, and I believe that's it. Which to me seems very unutilized because in real life, shotguns are very versatile. Like, they're pretty good in most forms of combat because you can fire slug or you can fire buck. Or well, a spreading round. So I thought, why not make a heavy version of that for the astartes? So I give you the Godwin pattern, heavy astartes shotgun, strapped onto a hip-batched Raptor. Alright, enough of me yapping. If you guys do enjoy this video, please consider liking, subscribing, and hitting the notification bell so you never miss another video. And let's get into this. Starting this kitbash, I grab my hands on a Grey Hunter or a Bloodclaw, depending on who talks or who you talk to. I'm using the newer range of Space Wolf, specifically the one with a diamond on the chest. I forget the name of it, the jewel on the chest. I do remove the jewel because guess what? Ain't gonna need it where I'm going. So we work on that. But for this one, I'm currently working on giving a actual pistol to the holster. Which, by the way, why does this Warhammer refuse to make a holster that fits the bolter? Or even a bolt pistol? You compare the sizes of a bolt pistol to a holster that it's supposed to somehow fit in, it don't fit in. I mean, the chaplain one kind of does with the biologist, apothecary biologist, I think it is. The heavy intercessor one. It and the standard apothecary both have holsters that would somewhat fit. It's in the right shape, it's just not thick enough to fit the holster the weapon. They're bolt pistols, so I don't know. Also, I take a technique where I take the bolter magazine and scope, cut off the part of the magazine, that box, shave off all the details, just so you have a whole sort of magazine slapped and it's sitting in a pouch and strap those to his chest. Then using Black Templar arms for the bolter, I use that to hold the shotgun. Now how I've done the shotgun, I've taken a heavy intercessor, heavy bolter, carved down the front of it so it looks like it actually has a track for the pump action system, slapped on a drum mag, gave it a scope, cut off the ends of the scope so it's just the middle of it, giving it a reflex, I believe it's called a reflex sight. Then if you look further down the barrel, right at the edge, I've taken the left of a bit of the scope, strapped to the side for a laser. Why he has a laser? Tacticool. That was cringe as fuck, but whatever. But yeah, just a lot of placement, especially considering that this what I'm doing is not exactly designed to be the way it is, so it is very much a fiddly task. But this would work if you had any bolter wielding weapon character. I believe it really should work pretty easily without too much modification. The only thing with this one is that the hand holding the action, I forget what it's called. Is that my phone? I don't know. Yes, I do. What is the handle that is used by pump action shotgun called? Four stock. The four stock? Four stock? Four stock, yes. Because of the way the thing is holding the four stock of the shotgun, it is a bit odd because it's very close up. So it's by the way he's charging, so it looks like he's in the process of racking another round for cycling another round into the chamber as he's running. So I don't know. It is still cool to me, just the idea of this. Originally I wasn't going to do a Raptor, I was just going to do a bog standard Marine. But then I slapped on a Raptors thing because this is very tactical how I've done it, and I'm actually very happy I did it the way I did. So yeah. Other than that, he's very much so just a bog standard. Well, I say bog standard. He's very much just as astartes. Now, one thing people will say: why do you give a shot? Why have you given an astartes a pump action shotgun when that would technically be inefficient? I don't disagree, but going off lore of how astartes move and operate, I don't think pumping a shotgun would be a bother for them. They probably do that in a slam fire. The figure had a slam fire a shotgun, so I'm just saying that. You cannot tell me that an astartes is not charging ahead and just slam firing a shotgun at you. Just saying. But then I thought, imagine being in a forest being hunted by this raptor, and you just hear that heavy action of just him racking around, just in the distance of a forest as he's tracking you. That would be terrifying. Even if that was in a building, that would be terrifying. I gave him this specific head that has the mechanical eye, because either he is, it's like a tracking, I'm going to say it is tracking and then possibly linked to his scope. Well, his reflex sight, but yeah. Let's get a penny. Citadel base, Dryad bark. Using this as a base coat, I'm going for a very grungy, utilitarian look to this. So not hugely vibrant, more grungy, less polished than most of the astartes would be. So that's what I'm going for. I actually kind of like the paint scheme I come up with. I'm very happy with it. So let's get. This is kind of the idea. Then using Army Painter, Army Green, and Citadel Base, Dryad Bark, I get this like yellowish green yucky color. It's a mid-tone. Hold on, it gets better. But using this in is like, I honestly, I could have just stopped here and I would have been happy with it. But I do know people are gonna be like, that's not a green, that's yellow if anything. So I had kind of had to adjust to keep going. Like, this would make a great scheme for like a very grungy looking sand marine, but then using pure Army Painter, Army Green, I go over the top, giving it a vibrant look, and I'm going to drag that back into more, how do I put this, dirty, unpolished, used look, I guess is the best kind of way to go about it. I've gone for very heavy contrast from the depths to the top, to the actual armor panels. Then using Citadel Base, Dryad Bark, watering it down heavily so it's a wash, and then just spraying that over it and just letting it sit. Because this brings back that dirty utilitarian look I was going for. Because again, I want this grungy. I don't want it like pristine armor. Let's be honest, most societies never have a pristine armor for very long. You go in one engagement and you just covered in blood and dirt. This one's managed to wipe off the blood off of him, so he's just got that. Then using Citadel Base, Dryad Bark again, I use it for the base of the leathers. Yes, and the 4-stock, and these little strap things. I don't know what they are. Yeah. I'm moving very quickly. Whew. Trying to keep up. If you can't tell, I'm tired. I did the lore video for last week for Friday. Well, I remember Monday, but got ill. Now I'm just kind of like trying to catch up on things. So I do apologize if I'm rushing. Citadel Base, Abaddon Black. I use this for anything that's going to be metal, even if it isn't going to be metal, like plastic items, like the reflex sight, the rail for the four handle, four stock, and then like anything metal, all that gets Abaddon Black. This is zipping around really quickly. Jesus, giving me a headache. Done the undersuit, I forget the name of it. What's it called? The Black Carapace. Citadel Base, Abaddon Black. Army Painter, Matte White. Using this for edge highlights, sort of like basing them out in a much darker tone. And then I'm going to add more white to it to like lighten it up a bit. Just so you can see it a bit better. Add more Army Painter White, Matte White to it, just to start sort of pulling those edge highlights out and then like just making it look a little bit nicer. I know a lot of people again will just leave it here and just say, yeah, that's good enough. I like to push it a little bit more. As most people, I think a few people have noticed that I am trying to paint a bit better and I take my time a little bit longer. But again, I still am very much so an airbrush cheater. Citadel Base Lead Belcher. I use this for the metallics, which is not much. Mainly just the power pack, face, and I believe a little bit on the gun, not really much. As I don't want the weapon shiny, because I can't think of any weapon I've ever come across that was like really polished, unless it was like a very antique weapon that's been really well kept, or a little showpiece. Army Painter, Game Color, Glorious Gold, Citadel Base, Dryad Bark for this gold of the Godwin pattern. I'm calling it the Godwin mark. I don't think it is called the Godwin mark. It's just like some Aquila iconography. But yeah. I also hit his belt buckle because of course I hit his belt buckle. Needs a little colour on him. Add more Game Color Glorious Gold to use as a highlight. And that sort of finishes it off. I didn't do a great job with that, but it's good enough. It's good enough. I apologize if I sound really tired and very like exhausted and just trying to rush things. I'm not trying to, I'm just tired. I should hopefully next video I'll get a week sort of off to just kind of relax a bit. Model color white glaze. Oh, I say relax, just chill out for a bit and sort of plan out my 500 subscriber special, which we are very close. I think we're only at the current time of this, I think we're only like 50 more subscribers, which is a huge ask, but if everyone subscribes, hits the like button and comments, we will get there, and then I can start working on my Imperial Knights that I want to add to my Arthonian Bloodborne army, my Knights of Camelot. Game Color Scarlet Blood. Watered down, I don't know why I didn't add watered down, but yeah, I watered it down to basically a contrast consistency and just washed it on. But yeah, I'm working on the, I'm planning out the Knight Destrider. The medium armor knight. I can never remember how to pronounce the name. I feel terrible that I can't remember how to pronounce it, but yeah. I want to do two of them. Game Color Scarlet Blood, Fluorescent Orange. I use this as a highlight for the lens. But yeah, I want to make two of them. To take the chainsword and one of the gun options, and then the opposite and the Thunder Spear with the opposite gun option to what I use for the others. I just want two twin Destrider Knights. I know technically you can't play them, but I can probably work around that. Game Color Fluorescent Blue. So yeah, I'm planning out two Imperial Knights, and I want to try and do them within 24, either within 24 hours or 48 hours. That's kind of what my idea is. If not, longest I'll do is a week. So that might cut into a video time, but I don't know. We'll see. It depends. Let's put it this way. The sooner I get to 500, the shorter time I give myself. That's probably a good idea. Citadel Contrast Striking Scorpion Green. I use this for the laser. I know they do come in many different colors. I've chosen green because guess what? It stands out a little bit and sort of matches with everything because specific vibrancy. Yeah. So yeah, if you guys are liking the video so far, please consider hitting the like button, subscribing, and leaving a comment to what you want to see. Army Painter Dark Tone. I gotta stop talking. I use Dark Tone as a sort of line, just hit all the shadows, all the recesses, just to give them that, again, utilitarian, cold aesthetic. It's like cold armor. Because looking at it, it's just a nice, desaturated army green, but it's in that nice color range where it just, hits, pops, looks grungy, dark, but awesome. Then using Army Painter Green Skin to highlight the base, to give it sort of like a lush green look. To finish the model off, I think I do a little bit more. I gotta do leathers. But yeah, it's this dark, this darkish, unforgiving green is just, so nice in my book. Army Painter Scarlet Blood. I use this for the shotgun rounds in the magazine. Now, I do know people have noticed that I've got a drum mag on the bolt on the shotgun and then a set of just bolter mags. I'm going off the pretension that he's got his drum mag for the first round, and then he's got the two other magazines as backups. So if he runs out of his big drum, he can just toss a drum and load a magazine and keep going with just a smaller capacity. Using Army Painter Leather Brown and dry brushing it very loosely onto my leathers, I get this nice worn texture to it. It's simple, easy. A lot of people tend to try and take time to do this and like just make it worse. I think I've achieved that pretty well, and I'm going to keep that in mind. That brush works really well for this, for leather texture. And then using Army Painter Monster Brown to highlight the edges, and that will finish off the model. Because it's leather. There's not much you can really do more than that, but yeah. I'm not very careful. Again, it's leather, so a little mess is alright. And then now it looks very distressed, very worn, and very used. And I do it to the leathers of these little doodads, these little pouches. And that does the model. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you want to see more videos like this, where I tackle other chapters, other legions, let me know down below. Again, please consider liking, subscribing, and hitting the notification bell. Subscribing helps me reach that 500 subscriber goal, where I will do a 500 subscriber special, where I paint, build, and kit bash 2 Knight Destriders. I believe that's how you pronounce it. I always forget. The medium armor knight, because it's a nice mid-ground I want to try. So yeah, hope you guys have enjoyed. Again, if you have, like, subscribe, and leave a comment to what chapter or what you want to see me do, please. And that'll be it. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.